All right, so welcome to our virtual interview with Class 51 Cadet Nicholas LaPara. And so this young man graduated from the program during Class 51, which, when was that? That seems like it was...
It was August of 2018. 2019, August 2019.
Yeah. So just start off by telling us a little bit about the background and some of the things that led you to looking for Commonwealth Challenge.
Sure. So Nick did fairly well his freshman year of high school, and sophomore year started to decline. And by his junior year, it was getting really bad. He was failing out of all of his classes. His behavior changed a lot. He was skipping school, just making a lot of wrong decisions. We had countless parent-teacher conferences, met with his counselor. There was, different punishments, taking away his cell phone and his computer and TV and his car. And we even took away his gym membership, and nothing really seemed to click for him. And we were concerned that if we didn't intervene in some way, he would be going down even a worse path. His counselor had recommended and had talked about the Commonwealth Challenge program with us. And we thought about it, but we kind of dismissed it, and we thought that we'd be able to help him get past all of this on his own. And by January of his junior year of high school, he came to us and said, "Hey, I think I need to go to the Challenge program." And then over the course of, the next month and a half, 2 months, my husband and I just, did our research and came to the family day and visitation and started the process.
Okay, great. And so for you, sir, what do you think it was that made that light bulb go off? What was that moment that you said, I can't really do this on my own?
Honestly, it was just like, I didn't have any direction. Like she said, I was just kept going through the motion, getting in trouble, and I was just tired of it. And I just knew I needed change, and I knew I needed some structure in my life.
Right on. And so what were some of the things that interested you, both of you, about the program when you first started looking at it? What were some things that kind of were like, oh yeah, this is exactly what we need?
For me, I think for my husband and I, it was definitely the structure and the discipline, the rigor around and focus around not only the discipline aspect, but also the respect, the education, being able to really work with him more closely, having a smaller classroom environment that allowed him to focus on his work and, again, put away the electronics and really focus on what do you need to do to be successful. And we felt like that was going to give him the best opportunity to continue to progress and be able to finish his junior year of high school.
Okay, great. And then you, sir, what were some of the things that you enjoyed the most about the program, or what do you think helped you the most?
Writing letters back home, definitely being in communication with my family on, the Saturday phone calls and mentor on Sunday. But what got me most, honestly, just myself, just trying to stay out of trouble, because it is easy to get, in trouble there. But you just gotta do it, honestly.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we talk about is we eliminate distractions and we allow you to focus on yourself and get what you need to get done so that you can move on to the next phase of life from there. So that's great. That's definitely one of the things that we focus on.
And I think the other thing, just to add to that, was, all of the staff at Challenge, they didn't sugarcoat it, right? It was very, here's the way it is, here's why it's this way, and, you need to step up and you have to own it. And, be responsible and take accountability. So I think that was also a lot of the lessons that we saw, and then, it was reflected in his changes.
Definitely, yeah. And so were you able to see, I know like right now, with the class that we have that started in October, they're not getting any passes. They're not getting to go home for those breaks. But we have made some changes for COVID and everything. So they're actually going to only do 11 weeks here. And then we're going to determine how many of those kids are going to come back, or if they can come back after after Christmas. So they're going to be here over Thanksgiving. So how were you able to see some of those changes during the pass when he came home? Like, what were some of those changes?
Yeah, even without him coming home, I mean, even just the letters alone, and reading what his experiences were, talking to him on the phone, he started to recognize where he may not have always made the right decisions. And initially it was, hey, I want to come home, I can't stay here, it's too hard. But then as each week progressed, he learned a little bit more, and he was more accepting of the differences in people. I think that was another big thing for him, was going from his little bubble at his high school and his group of friends to being exposed to all different kids from all different areas within the state, different backgrounds. So we just saw his outlook and how he was talking about his experience really started to change. And when he came home, it was, great, but at the same time, it was also a little bizarre because he was getting up early, and he was, always demonstrating to us, how he's learning to walk, and, the different military stances. So it was interesting to see him take such an interest in something other than, what he's always been exposed to.
Yeah, taking ownership of that. So I liked your point a little bit ago that you as you started that, is what advice do you have when you get that phone call as a parent, for other parents who say, I got a phone call, he wants to come home or she wants to come home? What advice do you have for that?
I think knowing, dig deep and know that you're doing the right thing for your son or daughter or grandchild. It's hard, hearing them be upset. You never want to hear your child upset or frustrated, and you want to just go save them. But I think as they're learning to be adults, I think this is such a big lesson, is how can they learn to save themselves? And so I think just staying positive, and everyone at Challenge says that, but truly staying positive, continuing to encourage them. You're doing great. Look at how far you've come in just a week. Just finding those little nuggets of success that they've seen, and be able to continuously, reiterate that to them, and congratulate them as a way of support. For
sure. Awesome. And so the good part is that you successfully completed Challenge, and it didn't end there. Hopefully you're using the tools that you learned here to be successful. And so now I want to hear kind of some of the things that you've done since you left Challenge, and how that correlated to what you learned here into what you're doing now, or how you implement those tools. I always like to say, we give you the tools you need to be successful. It's up to you to use them when you leave here. So, so what tools are you using?
So after Challenge, I went back to high school, and I graduated with an advanced diploma, and I had AB honor roll. And then from there, we moved down here to Florida, and I was accepted into college. And now through college, I have 2 classes online, similar to those back at Challenge. So,
okay, good.
Having to push myself to, get my assignments completed on time and correctly and 100%, doing that. And I also have a class on campus that I have, and so far I have all A's. I'm doing really well, and I'm proud. But
awesome. We're definitely proud of you as well. And I saw a couple of pictures. Are you working as well?
Yeah, I have a part-time job at a restaurant down the street, the Boathouse.
So you're balancing all of that, and kind of the time management skills that you learned while you were here at Challenge kind of probably helps balance that as well, work and school, and making sure that you get everything done that you need to get done. So that's awesome. Do you have anything more to add to that, ma'am? Like what he's been doing or how progress has been going so far?
Yeah, I think that, when he returned to high school, he definitely had a new focus on finishing. And he really became very engaged and close with his counselor and his teachers. They had asked him to be, kind of a resource helper for one of the other teachers. And he took pride in what he was doing at school and outside of school. He wasn't able to return to his volleyball team. So that was, a disappointment his senior year for him. But he found other things to keep himself occupied, whether it was going to the gym, playing basketball with friends, really focusing on homework. And then there was also a class that he needed to finish that he had not fully completed while he was at Challenge, and he needed that to graduate. So I think he was just more purposeful on planning his days, planning his weeks, graduating, getting through, and also starting to explore, did he want to join the military? Did he want to go to college? Did he want to go to a trade school? And as he started to explore all the different options, he started to eliminate what he thought he did not want to do, and ended up, deciding to go to college. And even though he still does not have his major selected, he continues to look at things he doesn't want to do. And I think as a young adult, really starting your life, you're not expected to know what you want to be in 20 years or 50 years, right? And I think it's an evolution, and to be able to recognize what you don't want in life is one step in the right direction. So I think that was something, rather than just giving up and walking away from it and getting frustrated, he really started to open up and seek out, other people's opinions and just educate himself.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds great. So one question is, what advice would you have for a parent and also a cadet or future cadet that is looking at the program or checking out different opportunities that they can use to get themselves back on track or to get their student back on track?
Yeah, I personally have 3 recommendations. One is, don't give up hope. Every cadet who enters Challenge does so because they may have given up, but as parents and guardians and friends and mentors, it's really our responsibility to encourage and support them through this journey. The second would be to just be patient. It was really hard when he left, and there were many days that I cried while he was gone because just missing his presence in the home. But staying in communication, writing letters to him, sending him cards, anything like that, just to stay connected and to keep encouraging him. And then really trust the process, right? So receiving the letters from him was the highlight of our family's week, and getting those phone calls were really great. And throughout that, I kept saving everything, saving the letters and pictures that Challenge would post on Facebook. And I made a scrapbook for him. And at graduation, I gave that to him as, hey, here's where you started, and this is everything that you've accomplished along the way. And anything is possible if you set your mind to it and you trust the process, have the proper support system. And Commonwealth Challenge was really such a crucial factor of that process for him to, really hit the reset button, learn and grow, and, set himself up for a future success.
For sure. Absolutely. How about you, sir? Do you have anything to add to that? That was pretty good. I don't know if you can talk.
Patience. I found myself so many times just waking up, starting the day off on the wrong foot, just getting frustrated and tired and just exhausted at this is where I'm at. But you just got to make the most of it. You just got to take that deep breath, and you just got to go about your day.
For sure.
And just
that's great.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys have any last parting words? No?
No, just, good luck to all the cadets that are out there and the parents. I can't imagine the challenges that present themselves as a result of COVID, but I'm sure that, you know, your cadets are in amazing hands and the staff is phenomenal. I would highly recommend the program to any student looking at it, or, you know, parent or guardians to explore it. And we are so grateful and really thank everyone at Commonwealth Challenge for helping us help our son recognize his worth.
Outstanding.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us.